All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope everybody's doing good. I had activity night before last that I'm going to talk about. Very cool, very important. It's starting to be the hardest thing to do is to guess exactly what these creatures are going to do and where exactly they're going to be. And finally, after this many years, they've developed two specific patterns. It used to be they would be on all different sides of the house, which they still do, but now they've started doing very specific things in very specific areas, and I'll get into that. But before I do, everyone who's been affected by the hurricane, I know it may not be much, but if you are in need of assistance, any way, shape, or form, I'm not really in the position and don't really collect money for stuff for anything really. But if you need a way to reach out to people, feel free to go to the Sasquatch Encounter Brigade Facebook page. Join, post whatever you need help about, okay? If you need whatever it is. If nothing else, just make our page available for anyone to post for help. Physical help, water, chainsaws, if you've got a GoFundMe, all that stuff. Now, I don't want to be involved in any of the money collection things. But if you're in need of help, you can use our Facebook page to post that. We have family in Boone, North Carolina. They got lucky. They lost power for several days. We couldn't get in contact with them, but they turned out to be okay. Augusta was hit hard. We know a lot of people in the Augusta area, and it was very destructive there. It's actually where, outside of Augusta, is where our main research area is. So our prayers are with you. Use our Facebook page. Number two, I want to give a shout out to Neil from LoreTech. They make camera systems. Now, my goal now, seeing how I have these two specific areas, I'd always assumed that if I was ever going to get video or pictures from them, it was going to be kind of far off. And now I'm in two different positions to where they're actually close. And I know it's kind of hard for people when I'm just recording with the GoPro. Number one, just using the GoPro has allowed, they've gotten used to it. I wear it on my head all the time, I guess. It's allowed them to get extremely close. You guys can hear everything that's going on, and I can describe it, but you can't see that. I've tried different methods. This is a Blackview night vision phone. Only problem with this is it's got 850 nanometers of their IR lights. That's the wavelengths. So you can actually see the red lights. That's not going to work. Apparently they don't like it when I hold that up. So I've been looking at different options so I can actually, at least nothing else, you guys can see what's going on, have something to look at why you hear this stuff, even if I don't get them on video. You at least have something to look at to prove that I am where I'm at and what's going on is going on, right? That's what we're all about, getting evidence. So I came across these cameras, and it looked like they were kind of specialized cameras. They have PoE low light cameras. They've got body cameras you can wear. That it's really cool. They actually, I think they attach, you plug them in to your phone, and you can basically go live with what's coming through the camera. They're low light capable. So I reached out to this company, LoreTech, and I was just straight up, I was asking if they made thermal cameras, because what I really need is 180 degree coverage behind me, okay? Something I can wear. So I just asked, hey, do you guys make specific cameras for specific purposes? And I even took a chance and said, look, this is what I do. I'm a Sasquatch researcher. I have a YouTube channel. And I don't expect you to believe in what I'm doing specifically. You don't have to believe in the creatures to believe that I believe in them. So you just need to know that in order to assist me, because I'm very interested in the cameras. Man, Neil, he sent me all the options, taught me through things, said what they couldn't do, gave me different options for what they had. Very, very helpful. Actually watched my videos and said, hey, I noticed that you can't see anything. So here's a camera to use for that, right? Now, I don't know if their low light body camera that doesn't use HR would be great like 70% of the time, but I've got to have something that sees at night with no light. Richard from BFFG, he uses a little body camera. It's a police body camera, but I will be looking into, something like that. And what we're doing, my wife has actually listed my Panasonic Lumix FZ2500 on eBay, because this is a great camera. Horrible for Sasquatch research. The battery life is terrible. It's not water resistant. I had to buy this massive gimbal to put this thing on. So you're carrying around like 275,000 pounds of camera weight in front of you, It does have a really good digital zoom, which you really don't want a digital zoom. But, these are things I had to learn in the process. I bought this when I first started, like, really committing to try to get evidence, right? So anyway, super low. I may have taken 25 actual pictures with this. I don't know if it's even that much, maybe a little more. I don't know. But I didn't use it that often because it's not practical. So I'm selling it. And eventually, when I do, I'll be using that money to get a different type of camera to use, okay? So you guys can actually see what's going on. The guys at LoreTech, again, thank you very much. Neil, you're awesome. Even if I don't wind up buying one of their cameras, I just greatly appreciate them taking me serious and actually trying to help. And even when they didn't necessarily have exactly what I needed, he took the time and went to FLIR and actually found some of their cameras and sent me examples of what they had. You don't see that a lot, So guys at LoreTech, Neil, thank you very much for doing that. Stealth Cam 360 Pro. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you probably know I don't use game cameras because I think these creatures are smart enough, if nothing else, to avoid human objects. I don't think they even necessarily know what they do, but I think they don't trust them because they know they come from us, right? But like everybody else, I bought a couple at the very beginning of doing this. It turned out to be completely useless. I even had a video from years ago where the camera's sitting there and something apparently comes up behind it and goes beep, 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 like that. And that day I decided I'm not using trail cameras anymore. But this, when it senses something behind it on the side or in front, it takes pictures all the way around 360 degrees. So I might actually get lucky with this. So we're going to give it a shot. The activity I had. Now, like I was talking about before, we've got two patterns coming together. The one behind my property. The second one, I've recorded this maybe video 6 or 7, where I walk over to that part of my yard after there's a throw. I walk over there, I throw objects, and then they throw objects back. You will see in this video, I even say, this is what's going to happen. I know they just threw something. I'm going to throw objects, and there's going to be objects come down on the other side of my yard. The first one, there's 4 throws. The first one, it's like a little stick, a little bitty stick, or something like that, that lands 15 feet in front of me. Now, I get excited because I know it's them, but it's not going to be exciting for you guys, and I know that, and I know it's not good enough to prove anything. So I make more throws. Then, right when I'm pointing the cell phone in the direction I know they're going to throw, there's another one that comes down in the trees over there. And I say, nope, still not good enough, because I know that there's acorns in that tree, even though what I heard was not an acorn. I'm going to need a better one, because I wasn't even going to post it if that's all I was going to get. Then there's a third throw. Now, this one kind of threw me off because I'm filming over here, recording over here. Something hits behind, and also my dog at the same time, she runs around with a deflated basketball that she's chewed up. She drops it on my deck and then starts scratching at it, okay? So that happens like right after the throw hits. So it confused me. I wasn't even sure it was a throw or not. Listen to the audio, it's definitely a throw. It sounds like a rock hitting wood. But you can erase that one if you want to. Get rid of it. Who cares? But it's throw number 3 is what I think. Well, then I'm kind of standing, 25, 30 feet away from my fence when these throws are happening. My neighbor's dogs start going crazy. Actually, no. I move more into the dark and closer to the woods and towards the fence. And you can tell that because you're not going to be able to see much of anything. And when I move closer that direction, my neighbor's dogs, shortly after that, they start going nuts. I hear a little bit of something in the woods, then my dogs start barking. And what I think happened is when I moved closer to the fence, they started moving closer towards my neighbor's house. And as I'm standing there and the dogs are going nuts, there is a very, very obvious throw number 4. It sounds like a rock coming through the trees and hitting the ground. Okay. You can forget about all the first 3 ones if you don't like those. Throw number 4 is a rock. And there's a rock coming through the leaves in the woods, coming through the trees and hitting the ground. It's super obvious. But it's very important because the hardest part of getting ahead of these creatures is the fact that they didn't have like super specific patterns that they would stick to. Some nights they'd be behind the house. Sometimes they'd be on this side of the house. Sometimes they'd be on the other side of the house. Sometimes every once in a while I'd have activity when I went in the woods, but not that often. Most of the time it was like directly around my house. And now it's developed to where I can go down to the back of my property and have the sitting area. And now they are specifically throwing from that part of my property over that fence into a very, very specific areas. And the more I know about what they are going to possibly do, the more of a chance I have of catching them. So I'm very happy about this. Anyway, again, hurricane victims, all of y'all, I'm praying for you. Families prayed for you. Use our Facebook page if you need to. Okay. Neil, thanks again, buddy. And here's the videos. I'll talk to y'all later. And 100% a throw I just heard over here. Every time right before I'm about to go to bed. I landed somewhere over there. And probably what's going to happen is I'm going to throw. And as I'm walking away, there's going to be a throw over on that side of the yard. There's my throws. Gotta wait till it's not so freaking loud. Did you hear that? Yes, sir. Told y'all. Told you. You're right over there. Hey, buddy. Did you hear that? All right, your turn. Come on. Something just hit over there, but there's acorns that fall out of that tree over there, so it's going to be more obvious than that. Something just hit over there, but something just hit over there. They gotta be over here somewhere. Dogs are mad.